Hey everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So this tutorial is the start of my men's series. So for the next 2 weeks, I will be sharing projects that are aimed towards Father's Day, male birthdays. There might be some teenage kind of projects in there as well, cards, things like that. So if more inspiration for masculine kind of makes is something you're after, then you may really enjoy this series that I'm going to be sharing. And as I always say, whenever something is maybe themed, a lot of it's just down to the papers that have been used and the decoration. Change this up and it doesn't have to be a Father's Day, the F for Father's Day, for example. It can easily be a name of someone. It could be the start of a word, family or something. So, you know, if you're not interested in doing masculine makes, try and see past that and think of other ways to decorate it. More floral or in bright colours, rainbow colours, things like that. You can definitely, you know, change it up a little bit. So this is the start of it. So it's another alphabet letter box. So this one just opens on the side and you can fill it with treats there. And I've just added a little decoration onto the front there and a little sign that says Happy Father's Day. Very straightforward to make. If you've made any of my letters before, I've done the Mother's Day one, which was really popular, and I can't remember the other ones I've got, but I'll link the alphabet playlist up here so you can see the other ones that are in there so far. But like I said, straightforward to make, so let's get started. So if you've made any of my other letters, it's exactly the same process. So we're going to start off with a piece of 5x6. Grab yourself a pencil and a ruler, and well, start along the 5-inch side here, and I've got 2 and 4. So along the top here, just mark with a pencil at 2 and 4, and then again at the bottom 2 and 4, and then we're going to join those up. Okay, and then we're going to pop it along the long side, and we're going to mark at 1.5, 2 1/4, and I think it was 3.5. 1.5, 2 1/4, yep, 3.5. And you're going to do that again down this side, and again join up all of those. And then you want to cut away all of this. I started to scribble there, but that's wrong. All down here, and then all of this section. We're going to cut all that away. And you can see if I lay this one over the top, there's the F shape. So we'll cut that one in a minute. Go onto your template for your mat layer. Exactly the same. So this is the 4 3/4 side, this is the 5 3/4. So it's 1 3/4 and 3 3/4. So 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and then again along the bottom. Join those up, and then 1 1/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. Again along this side, and join those up. And then again you're going to cut all of that out, all down here, and then all of that part. So that's your templates, so you can keep those now. Yours will look like this because you would have cut everything away, and then you can choose your paper and the cardstock and everything else you want to use. So I've already cut them for the front here. I've gone for this really cool wood effect paper. So I've got my piece of 5x7, and I'm just going to sit my template over the top, make sure it all lines up, and then just draw around that. It's good to use a heavier weight cardstock for your template because it gives you something for the pencil to be able to easily go around. And now I can just remove that. And then with your pattern paper, just remember, especially if it's directional and stuff, but obviously if I just cut that one now, that's then going to go on the back, and it's not double-sided with the same, you know, it hasn't got the same print, so I need to flip this over and then draw around it. Okay, so I'm going to get those cut out. Okay, so you should have 2 pieces in pattern paper for the front and the back, and then 2 pieces in the cardstock for the front and back. You can stick those straight onto the top if you want to do that now. I'm doing all my kind of layers at the very end. Next, you need your pieces for the sides. So start with this one here. So all of them are 3 inches wide, just like on all the other letters. But this is 3 by 11.5. Along the 3-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 2.5. And then along the long side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 6.5. We'll go through all of this cutting in a moment. That one is for the top here, and then that's the side of the F. So I'm just going to put top, and I put top there, but it's not, it's the side, and that's the tab. We've then got this piece, which is for the very bottom, and then all up the sides of like the right hand side. So it's going to go all around this here. So again, 3 by 11. And along the 3-inch side, it's the same again, so 1/2 and 2.5. And then along the longer side, it's 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 3 1/4, 4.5, 6.5, and 9. Okay. Then we've got this piece for the closure. So again, 3, but this is 2.5. Along the 3, it's at 1/2 inch and 2.5. And then along the 2.5, it's 1/2 inch and 2. As always, all the measurements will be on my blog. You'll be able to find them there. And then this is the piece that will go, it's the last bit under here. And that is 3 by 3. So on one of the sides, if it's patterned, then make sure it's facing the right way up. But you want to score at 1/2 and 2.5. So that's everything for the side. You just want to fold and burnish all those score lines next. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with this one where it's the bottom and then the right hand side. And basically on every fold along the long side, you just want to take a little triangle shape out so it goes across the score line, like so. If you would rather cut down the kind of score line first to the first one and then just cut a little bit off of each side, then you can do it that way as well. And then the very end here, so then I'm just going to cut it like that, but you're actually going to remove all of that. This is where you got that 1/2 inch. You won't have it at this end. That's where you want to take a little wedge off the side there. These are the tabs that will connect to each piece. So I'm just taking the square away completely from the corner and then just again carry on. You're basically making all of this. Each kind of folded section it's got its own tabs on each side, so just make sure you have that on every piece. And then with this one here, which is the closure, make sure you're cutting along the 2.5 side. This is the 3 by 2.5, so along the 2.5 you're just gonna again cut up, remove the corner squares, because both sides of this are the tab. Now just take all the corners off first, like so. Just leave that one for the minute, because when we connect it then I'll show you what piece to cut. With this one here, just cut again a little bit off the side there, like so. And then with this one here, so I'd already cut it there, so that's that fold. Just need to do it at the end. And then again this end, because you've got the tab, you've got the squares, so just remove those. And then a little wedge off of all those pieces. Okay, so you should have a piece like this, piece like this, like that, and like that. So grab one of the letters, and then I'm going to do the top and the bottom piece first. So you'll see it will sit perfectly along there and all the way down. You want to make sure you've got that tab end at the bottom of your letter. So I'm going to use the quick grab glue for this, and you're just going to run it all down that tab there. We'll do one at a time, but you can do both at the same time. If you've made these, you know, you're familiar with how I put these together, then you'll probably do both And then I'm just going to sit it down so it lines up with the top of the letter. I like to use the liquid glue because it just gives you that wiggle room and you're able to really get it right up to the edge. And then just let that stick down. You can see now that runs nicely along there. And then just add your glue along there. And then this one is going to run all down the side. I like to look to the left down this side. I just find it a bit easier to get everything lined up. This is the Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab Glue. I really like it. It is linked below along with the Collall, which is the construction glue. So I use that for larger surfaces. Okay, so we've got something like that. Then you want to take this piece and you should have bottom and right hand side. The end where there's no tab is going to stick to this one where there is a tab. And then you've got a tab at that end to connect the next piece. So first of all, I'm going to connect them together. So just again, glue onto the tab, just make sure that's all lined up, and then I'm going to add the glue to that one, and it's just going to go over the top and get that bottom all lined up. Once the treats are in there, it will really add some weight to it. And now we're going to start working our way up. So this one's going to stick there, but then this one's got to go around the shape. So you've got that one, and then that's going to go up and around, and then that one goes up. And then we've got the tab for this one, and then that's the closure. Now if you want, you can add your glue to all the tabs at once. I'm going to do bit by bit. It's just easier then if you do kind of go wrong, you've only got one piece to kind of, you know, take apart. But it's quite easy to see, you know, kind of where you're going. And use a ruler now if you can't get in there too well, just to add a bit of pressure over the tabs. But just make sure that everything is really, you know, hugging the outside of the shape there. And then what you can do to add the tab to this one is if you just bring it out like that, you can access it and add your glue. And then just bring it along. And then again. And the next one. And then that last one again, you can just bring it out, fold it back, add your glue, and then just let that one fall into place. And then with this one, I'm just going to add the glue now on the outside of that tab. You might want to connect this one onto that when it's all, you know, before you stick it down. But again, you can just get in there. I'll show you it this way. There we go. You kind of fold that in. If you just pretend to kind of wrap it around this end here, you'll see it all lines up really nicely, like so. And now I can just add my glue along this one. And then just pop that one under. But I always say do the back one first, because you know, you can kind of make a few mistakes, and you know, if you don't get it quite right and you take it apart again, it's on the back, and then by the time you go to do the front, you're kind of a little bit more, you know, familiar with how it's all kind of working. So now we've got that shape, and then the closure, you're going to stick one to there like so. These are going to just fold in on the sides, and then that is just going to be the little lip that goes in there to keep it closed. So you want to just cut a little wedge off the side there. Give my scissors a good clean. There we go. So now that one is just going to connect onto there. Now that's going to close in, but you can see it's going to catch there. So on the outside here, you just want to take a wedge off. They look like wings. Just make sure, yeah, that's going to go in now and not catch. Yeah, that's going to go in fine. Obviously that's going to fold in as well. But you want it to all kind of lock in. You want it to be quite snug. And we'll add a little finger pull there in a minute. Okay, so you don't now, just keep that out because you don't want to stick anything to that. Now what we want to do is add glue all onto this, but I think it's best to just tack parts of it down first. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in here and just kind of get those kind of stuck down. And then again here. Just make sure you keep the angles on the corners so they're all right angles. It's quite easy to pull one in more than the other. So just keep it all nice and straight. If you use some tweezers to kind of pinch in these smaller areas, it will just help a little bit. Okay, so now that's all ready for you to add your glue to the top and then stick that one over the top. Okay, and then just lay that one down. And you'll be able to put some pressure on those top sections there. Just give that a minute to dry. Okay, and then that one now should close up nicely like so. Now this one's going to topple because it isn't, you know, it's top heavy on that right hand side, but once the treats are in there, and what I would probably say is just fill it really heavy with treats to more to the left, maybe leave that. But if you're popping it in a hamper or something like that, then it isn't going to matter. So now we can decorate. So you would have already had these ones, so see there, they're going to sit with a nice equal border. So I've got those two on the front and the back, and then I will give you the measurements. I'll work my way around from the top. So they're all the same width, so they're all 1 3/4. For the side, this is a piece of 5 3/4, so that's going to go down this side here. Along the top there, this is a piece of 4 3/4. Then we've got this one, I think goes in there, so that is 2 3/4. Pop that one like that. Then this one is 2 1/4. That looks like it goes in there. And then this is 1 3/4, so it's 1 3/4 square. So that looks like it goes in there. And then you'll have 2 because you'll have 1 on the top there. And then I've got this piece for the bottom, which is 1 3/4 square again. So you'll need 3 pieces of that size. Then this piece is 1. Again, all the measurements will be in my blog. That goes there. And this one will cover the opening, and that is by 1 1/4. And I've just realised there's this piece in here, so that one will be 1/2 inch by the 1 3/4. I'll cut that one. So I'm going to get everything stuck down, and I'm going to finish off my decoration on the top. Okay, so I've just finished it off with the whiskey and the glass. This is from my Have a Drink on Me set. And then the sentiment was from an old Dovecraft one. Happy Father's Day. And I'm just going to add some accent glaze. I mean, it's all glass, so I could add it over everything, but I'm just going to add it over where the drink is. So this is just going to add a nice shine and just give it another texture. So I always like to go around the edge and then fill in the inside, and then just go over this one. Right, so that will go clearer. It's a little bit cloudy when it first goes on, and then just give it a little tap. That'll just smooth it all out. But there you have it. And then the top there, the closure, just to make it easier to open, if you just open it first, and then I use a little punch here. You might want to do this before you stick it down. Just punch like half of the circle there, and then it just now means that it's easy for the person to be able to open that. But you can fill that with the treats. Like I said, I'd probably go more over to the left hand side, but this will be going probably into a hamper because I tend to do those a lot for any kind of occasion. But there you have it. So I hope you've enjoyed the letter F. If you're new to the channel, like I said at the beginning, check out the alphabet playlist. You'll be able to see all of the ones that I've done so far. Yeah, hopefully it won't take me too long to do the whole alphabet. So I hope you've enjoyed the first project for my, I don't know, something for the guys series. I'm not sure what I'm calling it at the moment. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel, that way you won't miss any future tutorials. I'll link the product that I've used in the description box below, and I'll be back again very soon. Take care, bye.